guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to show you how I edit my Instagrams, and then I'll give you some tips that you can, you know, take it or leave it. So let's get on with this. This is a requested video, which I'm very happy about. I love when people like ask me to do videos. I extra love when people in my personal life ask me, could you make a video on this? So that's what this video is today. So essentially my process, I will go into my photos and I will go to like the photo sesh that I want, you know, a photo from. I'm sure most of you will end up with this on your phones, like, you know, when you've asked somebody, can you like take a picture of me? And God help the person who only takes a picture. I mean, we need multiple pictures. I mean, this is a whole photo shoot sesh. Testing out exposure. I know. And just seeing like what works best for you. So if we actually go quickly onto my Instagram, I think Instagram themes are a bit silly. And I don't really, if you look at my Instagram, like if you look, there really isn't a theme to it whatsoever. I do a portrait photo and then a landscape photo, and I've kept this going for, ooh, wow, I find it incredibly satisfying. So as you can see, my last photo was portrait, so now I need a landscape photo. I will favourite the photos obviously that I think are my preferred ones. Then I will go to VSCO. I have, as you can see, a few other apps. I will talk about HUJI. I haven't really used Unfold or Snapseed. They're apps I downloaded after watching a few of these videos. I do my research, but I don't really know how to use them yet. So then obviously I import the photo that I want. And let's get started. My basic recipe for these kind of things is I generally will increase the brightness. I'll almost always increase the contrast. Because the problem is this photo is actually quite backlit. Just because you make a photo brighter so you can see like everything better doesn't mean you want to lose the depth of a photo that you can get with the contrast. See? Kind of like that. And I will then almost always increase the saturation. You can see that already looks so much better, doesn't it? I won't go in too hard. I will almost always improve saturation, I will sharpen, and I will usually improve the clarity. Apologies, my phone is in Dutch, so generally I'll go in with the highlights. I more than likely actually turn them down. You can see now it's really blue, and that's like white. So I generally go back and I turn them down, and then I will go back to contrast and I will up that. Then any whites in there, it will make them brighter, but then keep the dark colours dark. Because the main thing I essentially try and do is I want to eliminate any kind of like grey tones. You'll see this because I'll show you some other examples of photos, because I know one photo won't give you the overall gist with it. But the main thing I try and do in terms of my aesthetic, I guess, is I try and make everything very bright, white and colourful. I don't want any grey on my photos, and anything dark, I really want that to be deep. I just don't like grey. That is generally like the basic editing that I will do. If I'm going to adjust the tint, I'll usually make it pinker. I don't like warm photos and I prefer the more pink tones. If it's very warm, I will try and make it cooler because of the colour of the white I prefer. I just don't like any green and like orangey tones in my photos. No orange. Filter wise, I will usually have a quick, ooh, that looks good, a quick flick through. I don't do any black and white on my main Instagram. I have 3 Instagrams. Let's not talk about that right now. I used to use, if you go back to my Instagram far enough, I used to use this colour selection a lot, C1, 2 and 3. Then these are the ones I use mostly that you'll see all over my Instagram. So what I mean with pink tones, I use the S1, S2 and S3 are like my favourites. But yeah, with filters, the first thing I would say is just kind of go through all of them to see if they would suit your vibe of your photo. Like I know that a lot of people will kind of stick with like 1 or 2 filters out of a pack in order to maintain their Instagram aesthetic. I guess the way to describe it is that like my Instagram is a highly aestheticized and curated look into my personal life. It's mainly photos with friends, with family. I don't like posting photos of just myself very often. So I guess that's my Instagram aesthetic in a way. But I guess our focus on themes kind of points out the fact that we are aware of how highly aestheticized we portray our lives to be. And I mean, Instagram's also just fun. I'm gonna have a look how this one looks. I almost think it's too pink. I feel like maybe if I try here. I feel like a lot of this is also just hit and miss, and the more you like learn to edit your photos, the more you will find something that works for you. See, I feel like this is good, and if I was just improve the contrast. Oh, the contrast is already, look what it was and now look what it is. It's annoying that there's no tool on here that lets me just target like the black, the black point, which just makes everything darker without adjusting the rest of the photo. There we go. No, this is it. Okay. Wow, you can, like when it flicks like that, you can really see the difference. This is the before and after now of this photo, which I think quite well summarises the aesthetic that I prefer to go for. Is I will always raise the saturation, I will always make it look brighter than it was, I will improve the contrast, I will try and make sure that it has more pinky, blue and white tones rather than having orange, grey or green. And so obviously then I export that onto my camera roll as a big file. I'm sure it's really interesting with you the way that I then get that bordered effect. I have it on the white background on the Photos app. I screenshot that and then I go into Instagram and that is just how I proceed. Like, I find it's so easy. The only thing is that it lowers the resolution of your photos, but for me I don't really mind that much. I prefer the aesthetic over how much people can zoom in on my face, you know? And I always try and tag the person who actually took the photo for me, because you'll see I don't post any selfies, that's not my vibe. I don't use my Instagram for business. I don't use it as really part of my YouTube. I use my Instagram story for that. So if you would like a video purely dedicated to how I do my Instagram story, I can 100% share that with you. And there you go, boom. And there it is, released into the wide world. Thing is though, that's just one photo, so I will show you a couple others that I have edited and essentially the process that went into it. The main thing I would say is that often it does take an awful lot of faffing around. I personally don't think it's always that easy. I know people say, oh, here are some quick, simple steps, but really it's a lot of playing it by ear. You can't always do the same things to the same photo to make it look the way you want it to. Take the photo that I'm editing now. The colouring of it was quite sort of grey browns and oranges, and I really wanted it to just pop a bit more, but I wanted it to pop without changing what our face and skin colour was looking like, and then also make things darker but without completely underexposing the entire photo. And then picking the filter that would go best with those combination of colours was hard, but I think I finally did get it because I absolutely adore this photo. It's currently my lock screen actually, and even if now you look at the before and after, you can really see like where I've kind of gone in to like try and increase the colour without changing what we look like. You can make things more vibrant by increasing the contrast just to make everything pop. This next photo was the one that actually inspired this entire video. This is a photo I took for Georgia. As you can see, everything is just grey because it was overcast. I think it was a bit backlit, and so nothing really sort of stands out in this photo. So what I essentially did, and you can see there's a lot of grey, I essentially increased the saturation an awful lot and I increased the exposure a lot as well. I did tone up the contrast, but then I also toned down the shadows a bit because I didn't want it to be a dark photo. It needs to have a lot of light, it needs to be very eye-catching, especially because of the tones of the pink of the house and obviously of Georgia, because what she's wearing is very bright and white and wonderful, and otherwise you wouldn't have had that with this photo. I also cropped it a little bit because then you would see more of her, and the more you see of a person in the photo, the better it does on Instagram. Also with this photo, as you can see, I just made everything a lot like pop a lot more. It was a lot to do with the blue, but this photo, let me tell you, it took a lot of photos to get this photo. This is one I took the framing that I wanted and then gave it to my brother to try and get this one, and it took a while, but we got there eventually. Yeah, you may have taken 150 photos to get one good one, but that doesn't mean we didn't have a good time doing it. This photo is actually a landscape photo, but it didn't seem to fit with my before and after. As you can see, it's the same kind of idea. I just made everything pop a lot more. With this one, I did make it a little bit warmer because as you can see, I am very tan in this photo. Where is it gone? So I just made sure to increase the temperature a bit because it adjusted my skin tone to make me look even more tan than it was. I just liked it because it was so blue and so wonderful, so everything did a lot better being just a lot more saturated. The reason I adjusted the crop and the aspect ratio is because I needed a portrait photo next to match my aesthetic, and also I just thought it was a lot better because you'd see me and then you would see Can behind me. You can see that quite clearly, and so I think it worked very, very well. I think the main thing to remember when editing photos is find out what works for you, what you want to see of yourself, but my main advice is make it bright, lots of colour. This is essentially how I edit my photos. So for part 2, let's talk tips. You can search on the internet so many rules and like even Instagram etiquette is like a thing. So let's just read some rough guidelines and suggestions. This is my Instagram aesthetic. I don't use this for business, I don't use it for work, this is just my personal thing, but I like things to be aesthetic, I like things to be pretty. I'm sure you can tell. I would try and avoid posting the same thing again and again and again, even if it's like the same place or the same like angle or the same photo, like kind of photo of yourself. People won't necessarily notice this when it comes up on their feeds, but if they then go on your profile, it's so obvious. I will actually speak about a few apps that I know people like to use at the end. There's some useful apps for you. I'd say one of the hardest things, obviously, is when you want someone else to take a photo of you, is that, you know, don't be afraid to direct someone to the photo, you know, that you would like. I've got pretty good at like telling my siblings, my parents, and like my friends, like how I would like the photo. Often I will take a photo of the framing that I want, and I will essentially explain to them, please just take this photo again, but I will be in it. Also, I take all of my photos on my phone. This is an iPhone 8. Make sure you always just like wipe the camera before you use it. Like, you will do this with a big camera, you may as well do this with a phone camera as well. It just makes sure the photo isn't hazy or anything. I just want to say this again, Instagram themes are like, I find them kind of dumb. I know a lot of people like it, but don't think you need to stick to that. I feel like it's something that if you use Instagram for work, if it's part of your job, yeah, sure, have an Instagram theme, but I don't think the average person needs one. Don't think, I need an Instagram theme, because you don't. If you want one, then just consider posting the same kind of content and using the same filter every time. Bam! Easy Instagram theme. My main thing is in terms of frequency and like when you post. I would suggest posting between like 5 and 7 o'clock. We've started calling it prime time. If I were you as well, space them out. Don't post more than one Insta in a day. If I see other people doing this, it annoys me. I feel like it's like just shit posting, like don't do it. If you have multiple posts that you really want to share, do every other day, and then you get, you know, 6 days worth of entertainment instead of 1 day's worth of likes. And often people won't like every single one of your posts if you do that. If I see someone posting more than one thing in a day, I will skip the later posts. Post every few days. The tips I'd like to end this on is have fun with this. I think a lot of people take Instagram so seriously, and I mean, yeah, there's a lot of money to be made with it, but the average person, that's not gonna matter. I absolutely love all my friends like, I really want an Insta for this, I really need an Insta, you know, scouting the places that would be a perfect backdrop, you know, having that little photo shoot in public. Like, I'm so down for that. It's one of my favourite compliments when somebody posts a photo that I took. You better believe it is. Enjoy yourself, because it's just a picture. Other useful apps. I use VSCO. A lot of people use Facetune. I don't know how to use it. UNUM is something I've seen people use in terms of like the grid. It like lets you see what your Instagram feed will look like. HUJI is something I love. I use this a lot actually for my Instagram story. It makes everything look like a disposable camera. I absolutely love film, so I just like having that aesthetic. Another one I've seen people use is Snapseed. I have it on my phone out of pure curiosity, but I don't know how to use it yet. That's something I've seen a lot of people use. And yeah, that is it. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any Instagram tips of your own, please share them down below. I'm sure everybody would be dying to hear them. I make videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays, like, subscribe and all that jazz, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye. I had one that I chose, but I can't remember which one it was now. Not, obviously not this one. Christ.